streaming is definitely not what it used to be. And when I say streaming, I mean like clicking the go live button on Twitch, playing a video game, doing whatever the fuck you do. Honestly, I think this all started, at least the new generation of streaming, I would say about 5 or 6 years ago, right around COVID time. I don't think people knew what was coming. I think there was a very small pool of people who had an idea of how big streaming could be, and then it just kept getting bigger. And there really is no explanation for this, I guess, aside from, what people were watching, what people got attached to, and the content that was being poured out. And there is a mix of different things on why it became what it is today. So a long time ago, I say a long time ago, but streaming has always been around. I would say as early as I can remember, 2012, 2013, 2014, maybe around the early days of Twitch, Justin TV era. And it really started out as sort of a gaming sphere, and also some people did very early IRL content. I don't know when that exactly popped up, but it did come around, and there was a very niche core group of people who would watch streaming. Similar to like the anime effect, there was only a certain group of people who would watch anime and talk about it. It's kind of the same thing for streaming. And I would say YouTube was a bit more universal and anyone could watch it, but streaming was way more niche. Now, I would say fast forward to around COVID time when we all went on lockdown, there was a large population of people stuck inside, bored as fuck, and they had access to TikTok, Instagram, and Twitch, and YouTube. And a lot of people, of course, were posting on all these social medias because they had nothing better to do. They had a lot of content to make and a lot of entertainment to offer for people sitting at home who had nothing but access to the internet. And so around this time, I would also say is when Mr. Beast was starting to become super popular on YouTube. And whether people like it or not, he really was changing the space on YouTube. He was creating what I would like to think of corporate content. And when I say corporate content, you can tell a clear difference of someone between, let's say, Moist Critical versus Mr. Beast. Like, they just have two different completely styles of content. But if you watch Moist Critical, although he is big and popular and stuff, he does make a lot different content that feels a bit more organic and homebred versus Mr. Beast is making stuff for anyone in the fucking world to click on, watch, give him views and watch time and revenue. And his whole idea behind his revenue was like, if you guys give me more revenue, I can give away more money to people in need and also create a quote unquote charity to donate more money to more of these charity firms. And he did do all this stuff. He really did. He accomplished a lot. He donated a lot of money to charities and people in need and gave away more money on his videos and stuff. And they just kept getting bigger and bigger because what is the one thing you can take advantage of in the world is greed. People are so fucking greedy. They just are. Whether you think you are or not, the majority of people in the world are greedy. And if they saw $1,000 in front of them, they would jump at any instant moment if it meant that they could get it right now. And so I think this is super interesting because I don't think people understand the gravity of how much Mr. Beast changed the entire scope of content. Not just on YouTube, not just on streaming. Like, he changed everything. He helped corporatize the entire content space. I think this was also a combination of, a lot of different things. I think a lot of corporate companies are getting a big eye on how big the content space is and how little cable was doing on revenue and advertising, and how, digital marketing was actually making a lot more money at a faster rate and cheaper than it would be to go out and advertise in person or go out and meet people in person or try to get people, hyped up about their products and stuff, when you can just release a video online or have a social media person as big as Mr. Beast promote your product and make more money. And so with this, I think that he unfortunately changed the space for the worse. I think it made a lot of people more entitled to that amount of money or, you know, that amount of revenue. And the dream went from like, I hope I can hit 1 million followers to, you know, I hope I can increase my revenue by 10x, 100x, which, you know what, dude, that's fine. If you got to feed your family and take care of them and you want that as a job, that's great. I wanted it too. I really did. You know, I'm not going to lie. I wanted to be a full-time streamer, full-time YouTuber. Sounded great. But unfortunately, / fortunately, a lot of things have changed since then. And I think that in retrospect now, looking back, I did a lot of sacrifices for streaming. I did. Just this past year, I mean, I took off an entire, week or two of PTO and completely burned it. I could have done anything with that. I could have went on vacation. I could have visited family. I could have hung out with friends, but instead I spent an entire week 100%ing Pokemon Coliseum and XD. Don't get me wrong. It was fun. It was great. I had a good time, but if we're talking about the time to gains, you know, reward on that, risk to reward, if you will, I risked a lot and got rewarded pretty much little to nothing on it. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, well, then why the fuck did you do that in the first place? I did it because number one, it was fun, but number two, I thought it was like the biggest banger of an idea I could do for the Pokemon space. And it did pretty well. But I think for the amount of effort I put into it, I mean, I put, let's say 2 weeks of time into streaming, then I put about 3 weeks of time editing full time every day, 5-6 hour days, edited down like 100 hours of footage down to 1 hour and 15 minutes, and basically got paid nothing, like basically nothing. I'm being so serious. I got paid probably $6 a day to do, you know, 100 hours of work, if you will, if not more than that, if you account for the amount of time it took me to stream it too. And the crazy thing is if you go through the comment section of that video, there's a very small group of people who shat on me for, you know, using rare candies at the end of the challenge, or, you know, maybe using a glitch or something to speed up the process. And honestly, go fuck yourself, man. Like, I have a job to do. I cannot sit at home. I'm not unemployed. I have bills to take care of. I have people to take care of in my family. I can't just sit there and do it all day. I don't have the leisure and the liberty to just do that. And so once again, this is something that, number one, I thought was super fun, but number two, it felt more like a job at the end of it. And I think this was my turning point of, why do I continue to do this to myself? Why do I sit here and continue to try to feed the hand that, I don't know, bite the hand that feeds me, or whatever that's not the right fucking phrase, but you know what I mean? Like, why do I keep feeding this monster that I hate is constantly biting me in the ass, and yet I'm getting nothing out of it? I'm not getting revenue out of it. I'm getting a very small amount of people who are just shitting on me constantly, and I just focus too much on the negativity, you know, instead of the fun. And like I said, there were definitely times where I found a lot of fun and joy in it, but more often than not, it was stressful, it was tiring. I spent less time with my fiance and family, and I spent a lot of money on this and got little to nothing back, and it was draining me. It was draining me really bad. I mean, to go even deeper into that, I paid for travels, housing, stuff like that to do streams, and once again, it did not pay off. It really did not, unfortunately, no matter how much I tried. And I felt like I sat around and watched other people around me, like bigger content creators, let's say Kai Cenat, you know, who probably poured half the amount of money that I would pour into a stream, and yet probably 1 million times X'd his revenue, you know? So like, he got rewarded for the things he was doing. And I know that didn't just happen overnight, but I think I started to come to a realization of the things I was doing was for a very small group of people. It was not speaking generally to everyone else. And maybe this is a little bit harder for people who just watch videos who don't really understand the amount of time that gets put into it. Even if you know it takes a lot of time, it definitely sucks to sit there as a creator, to sit and drain yourself every day to do that kind of stuff. And circling back to the whole Mr. Beastify thing, the reason why I was doing all of this is because in order to keep up in the current landscape of YouTube and streaming, you would have had to sit there and do what I was doing, but 10 times harder. I wasn't uploading as often as I should have been on YouTube. I was streaming way more often than I should have been, yet I wasn't translating the streaming hours into the YouTube hours. And so it didn't make sense because not a lot of people, once again, have time to sit there and chat in a stream and watch a stream. And it is very difficult to translate the YouTube to streaming platform versus streaming to YouTube platform. And I still respect the fuck out of people who do it every day and spend all that time every day doing it, but it is a huge life commitment, time commitment, and if you don't have that in you, then you are going to get beat out by other people. It's never something I wanted to happen to the space. I honestly thought at first what Mr. Beast was doing was cool, and then there just came a point in time where he got lame and he started sucking because he was corporatizing everything. And I've talked about this a lot, but the corporate side, I would say, of streaming, content creation, stuff like that, once you corporatize something, it starts to get lame, bruh. It really does. It's like when your older siblings, maybe parents, start to pick up a meme that you heard 2-3 months ago, like 6-7. I hear a lot of older coworkers use it now because their kids are using it and they're all finally adapting to it. And I was like, dude, I'm sick of it. I was over it probably within the first 2 weeks I heard it. And then I just kept doing it because everyone was like still using it. But now I've forgotten about it, and yet it's somehow brought back because they are just now adapting to it. That's what it feels like. It feels like that. Please just like get that slop out of here. You know, like it's not funny. It's just not. It's really not. It's just, oh God, I just cannot explain it. There's like a certain archetype where it's like, dude, whatever you're doing, please stop embarrassing yourself. You're not hitting it the same way that someone else is. But I do think that there is still a pool of people out there who still make some creative content, people who really make it from the soul. And don't get me wrong, what I'm getting at is I'm not saying that effort needs to be diminished here or needs to be desensitized, but I think the problem is that effort has been desensitized and everybody thinks that everyone is trying to corporatize their own content because it already has done that to the landscape. There's plenty of people, and I'll just use the Pokemon space because that's what I'm most familiar with, who are still making great from the heart content. And there are also people who are just straight up corporatizing their content to, you know, revenue spin and pay their bills. And they just don't give a fuck about Pokemon. There are plenty of people like that, and I will never name them, but if you know them, you know them. A lot of these people just regurgitate the same fucking video over and over without you realizing because you continue to watch it. But maybe I'm just speaking too much, you know? Maybe I don't know anything because, I mean, bro, look at my channel. You know, like, I'm not successful. I probably don't even have the grounds here to talk about what I'm talking about, but as somebody who has spent the last 14-15 years of their life on the internet, on YouTube and streaming specifically, I've seen a lot of changes on this website and a lot of changes within the space. And I can tell you from the heart, I have seen it all. And the point I've finally returned back to is when I was 12 years old, just yapping into the mic, playing video games, and it was my favorite fucking thing. And it never got views, but I had so much fun with it. And that is where I'm finally getting back to, and it feels great. And so if you're watching this, I just wanted to say thank you for watching and thank you for listening to me yap about different topics and stuff. I do love to hear what you guys have to say about these topics too. This is why I honestly started it, because it feels a bit more of a open approach to everybody, you know, maybe a bit more personable, and I really appreciate all of you. Anyway, let me know what your favorite least corporatized content creator is in the comment section below so I can go and watch them and maybe binge them, give them a review. Stay happy, stay healthy. I love you guys, and I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.